Hello, welcome. This is the Daily Dharma, and my name is Deana. Thank you so much for joining us today. And today, during the pre-shuffle, I had a couple of items popping out, and I just had to keep them because 3 cards popped out during the shuffle. I got Earth and Gaia together, which seemed super relevant since they're so similar, and the contrast between them is so subtle, coming out with consciousness. And then under the deck there were a few clear piles and one crossed here. We have third eye chakra, crown chakra, and perception. See what I mean? It's so synchronous that I just had to keep those. So I've been looking at these energies quickly before starting the camera to feel into what the message was before getting going. And I feel like there's elevated consciousness going on. The third eye and crown chakra working together with consciousness to expand your perception of your options, expanding your perception of reality. With elevated consciousness, instead of being so focused and fixated on scarcity and issues and problems, as your perspective elevates, you begin seeing the prosperity, the potential, the abundance of the universe, and recognizing how that law of attraction really works by virtue of you not falling backwards into lower patterns or lower temptations that don't have that long-term solution in mind. It's more of that quick fix. By elevating the consciousness, you're really putting something into form. Because with Earth and Gaia, it's like, what is this all for? The 9 to 5. There's some type of an idea of action versus surrender, magnetism versus electric attraction and pursuit, and that rise and grind mentality I talk about. I'll read the 2 of these so that we can get a clear, distinct idea of what both entail. So Earth, number 24, reduces to a 6, the number in the major arcana of the Lovers. And it's about the soul contract, mirroring back, duality, and the idea of spirit versus material, and how that fits into thought as the precursor of materialization. Okay, so the frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our Great Mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. So it's saying all of what I said, in that instead of focusing on the scarcity, when we're connected to the earth and the elementals, we can see the beauty of nature, the miracle of life, and the blessing of rain on a day when we had other plans. The beauty of all aspects of our Great Mother really sticking out, because it is duality when we talk about the third dimensional earth plane. All the aspects of the Great Mother, there are shadow aspects and light aspects in all of us, even your most revered hero. Pause for the cause here. I have some coffee. Wonder Woman, that's my girl. So Earth also reminds us that we can embody all of those hero, heroine aspects in our own personality, whether it's overtly trying to be a hero for others, which gets into pride, ego, and saving others, or the higher aspect of, like the Wonder Woman. She has this lasso of truth, and she lassos the bad guys, and some type of goddess energy is imbued in that lasso, that then when the bad guys are touching that, they just start spilling their guts and telling the truth. It's an expression. So it says, saving the world one sip at a time on the back of the mug, which to me is like sitting back and working on yourself and saving yourself by taking that restorative glance into yourself, all of those restful, rejuvenating, honoring your body's rhythms, not pushing so hard that you literally become sick for pushing too hard. It's honoring the biorhythms, the rhythms of your body in conjunction with the flow of things as they're coming and flowing to you and through you. And sometimes you're going to need more rest than others. So that Great Mother is honoring rest, rejuvenation, self-nurturing, self-care. And through honoring those deeper cycles and rhythms, more things are revealed to us by our spirit, through our spirit, and witnessing the spirit of others. And when we can witness that as we rest and feel good and feel restored and ready for the next task, then more can come our way, because we don't have our hands and our minds so full that we push everything away, seeing another opportunity as just another burden or another job. We can say, I can accommodate this. This avenue over here may reveal some helpful and supportive aspects instead of just being another job. Maybe I can play with this concept and see if it does actually work its way into the greater picture to actually alleviate some of the pressures of the third dimensional world through understanding. By serving the spirit, we're serving the material plane, and more can be done when we are doing for ourselves in that manner. I'll just leave that one there. And it reveals the blessing of taking a little bit more of a magnetic approach, and instead of worrying and casting our projective energies, have I done enough? Have people thought well enough of me yet? Do I have to go, do, be more somehow for some type of a reason? There's ego that comes into that space until we elevate the consciousness to say that we deserve the break, and we can accomplish more through taking a few steps back before pushing forward into the next step. I'm definitely feeling this is, if you follow the astrology, this is mostly a timeless reading, but astrologically, the moon just came past the conjunction where Mars was passing by Neptune. So then we had Neptune slow moving, faster moving Mars crossing by, and then super fast moon moving by to trigger all of them, boom, right at one time. And then the moon coming through, connecting with Jupiter before it moves through Aries into, well, it's Aries starts when it conjuncts Jupiter there. And then it'll come beyond Chiron before touching onto Venus. So there's a conversation and a dance going on between the masculine and feminines of our own gender-based polarity system, the roles and the masks that we wear for the world, and how we perceive those as adding to or blocking us from feeling that we can pursue our blessings. Like just a few easy examples, the stereotypical male that doesn't want to explore the depth of emotion and chases away a potential lover that's very emotional, or the feminine who doesn't feel that she can go out and buy her own material abundance, her own home, her own entrepreneurial dreams, because there isn't some type of a male aspect that could go out and reach and do and tell her that that's okay for her to do. Those are stereotypes, but those elements exist both within the masculines out there and within the feminines. There's that push-pull of, do I have what it takes? Can I reach for this? And what will be waiting for me when I get there? Will it be safe? Will it be fulfilling? Will I overextend myself? Potentially. But can you really risk the backsliding into never reaching for what you truly desire, the miracles in your life? If you avoid taking risks, you still have made a choice, right? Thank you, Rush. And so Earth coming out with Gaia, number 28. So it's like Earth is the primary grid, the matrix that we see, the building blocks of other people's creations, the conditional aspects that surround us, the building blocks of reality. And Gaia brings in the element of consciousness and elevation, and it brings in complexity to the code here by saying that I can take all of the gathered resources, the accumulated knowledge and wisdom, and I can create abundance, love, universal insights, 1111. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. So it's taking duality and just letting that aspect and evidence of reality as it's been presented to us just stand as a conditional evidence of the past, and we can take our consciousness and perceive something new, something changed, something different, a new self-expression here, and using our consciousness to create something that perhaps doesn't exist yet in our life for the betterment of all, somehow nurturing consciousness in our world. Okay, are you clearing your energy and space for this opportunity, connecting with the Earth Star Chakra, unity consciousness here? And we have under that Mars, which just passed, that compassionate aspect there with Neptune. I'm seeing that you've identified possibly as the rebel or the black sheep in your surroundings, your friends, family, and flow and positive mental attitude is going to help you to tap into that law of abundance, law of attraction, and accept things as they are. Synchronicity, luck, and divine intervention is under the deck there too, right on top of overthinking, stress, and nerves. So you need to channel those energies through, and then that leads us up to the new moon energy, which should be coming right up in short order. So let me see, that's probably it's probably about 4 days out. I don't know the date of the new moon, and this may bring up some inner conflict, but okay, the cards that flew out, we have 3333, that ascending master code of it's intentionality, ingenuity, thinking outside the matrix. You already know, trust your gut instincts on this matter. Whatever you're birthing into reality is taking shape just by you believing in it and utilizing your mind and your consciousness to seek for pathways and to see how Earth and how synchronicity flows in your world to give you the indication or the guidance that you need to find the way forward, because all things mimic nature. So the best innovative technique is going to follow the rhythms of nature. There's chemistry here, and we have frenemies, legalities, 3D contracts, disputes, escalation. So maybe that's what you're clearing your energy for. You've been through something with frenemies, and that could be ancient history for some of us, but it's some type of it says 3D contract specifically. But yesterday under the deck we did have soul contracts and several other things, will-o'-the-wisp. So some of you may be still dealing with court cases, legal battles, something that seems to be distracting you and creating some aspect of additional work, but it's also allow it to shift and adjust your own approaches and perceptions, not of the inner negative, darker underbelly of people's consciousness and the disputes that they bring your way or the things that you feel about others. It's elevating your consciousness to see how these others or those situations are merely a reflection of their accumulated experience, fears, anxieties, shame. And if you take the message of the Four Agreements and not take anything personally and allow those others to stand with themselves, shadow boxing with their ego, with that man in the mirror, you're going to, by virtue of your own raising of your perceptions and consciousness, you're going to see an entire shift of the materialization that comes your way, and these other individuals are going to witness this as well. So let's see what comes out. Oh, beloved, radical acceptance is coming out again. This is such beautiful cosmic womb, the divine feminine coming out under the deck. Getting a lot of indications these last few weeks about divine feminine, divine masculines. I didn't get very many shuffles through the deck. Let's just keep on shuffling. I want to get an expanded message. And rest assured, if those synchronicities are supposed to be coming out, then they will come out. They always do. Sometimes clarifying one card, you'll get the same card from another deck, because Spirit wants you to really focus on that. So, beloved is coming through with that fiery, passionate heart, radical acceptance of self and of those others in the situations that come your way, not taking it personally. And then there's the number 5 card, closing door, completion. And I'm seeing that as one door closes, another opens, because I'm seeing that there's a lot of light, a lot of, like, there's almost suddenly getting the message from my childhood when the firemen used to come and speak to the kids. They'd always say, if there's a fire in your house, you have to feel the door before you open it, because if you open the door and there's fire, that backdraft can suck the fire straight into your face and swell and swarm right into the room. So it's like something may have felt like the wrong type of passion at play, the wrong type of chemistry, and moving away from that. Yes, 3D and 3-3-3-3. It's like utilizing 3D as the matrices to build upon, using it as a stepping stone so that you can still, in your manifestation, remain relevant, remain connected to that unity consciousness, not feeling that you're any better or more evolved. You're just on a different level of your healing cycle, and you're more tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to what you are wanting and closing the door on what you don't want. So completing those old soul contracts. Galactic mushroom, the divine matrix. What did I say? It is the divine matrix is, it's in the Tao, they say that all things are the Tao, and if you see something and don't witness the evidence or the seed of the Tao within that universal seed of love that is in that perhaps green, oozy, maybe revolting, what do I want to say? Those of us that are really into our own sovereign space and creating those protective boundaries, and the ones that grew up with generations telling us to trust the institutions, and then we grew up to witness that the institution was really out for themselves, and so there's a distrust coming in here. And it's not that institutions are bad, it's that there's definitely a need for radical innovation in these systems of operation, because systems aren't evil in of themselves. It is the misguided consciousness of others that believes that we need to control or have power over other individuals. Think about all of the nonviolent criminals that are serving long sentences in prison and then paying for their stay, and then in America, when and if they're released, they never have the potential to vote again in their lives. They're treated as substandard citizens, and not even citizens in that regard. I don't know why that's coming out. But there's someone here who witnesses the fallibilities of human nature, of the system, of the divine of the matrix, and doubts that it's even divine in and of itself. But it gives birth to the seed of the future. If there were no dysfunction, there would be no need for innovation. And we're all here to be innovators, creators, co-creators, and to expand our perception of what's possible by witnessing what doesn't work. So there's an emerging consciousness, something that may have ticked you off. I'm seeing that steam from that repressed energy or oppressed energy, that compression energy of having been pushed down and needing perhaps more than you felt you were afforded. And it's up to you to be your own hero by straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Exactly. So you can create this consciousness for yourself, and it begins to be evidence in your life. And just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Under the deck, we have Drifter, experiencing life as it comes. And that's definitely part of what we've been talking about. There's a need to not have a huge solidified plan in place that we're so preoccupied with that we fail to see when a change of directions is more optimal at 2222. And Drifter can also be somebody who's been waiting, wandering, watching, and observing, ready for opportunities, trying to gather experiences and knowledge and wisdom because the Gypsy lifestyle has appeared to them, letting things be temporary, letting things steer them so that they could gather all of this abundance of literal experiences that enhance the experience of true life. But I'm seeing that this straight and narrow path it has a lot of roads and pathways that could go off at any time. During the pathway forward towards that bright light, there's infinite side distractions, maybe even past relationships, past jobs, or past engagements, past living experiences. Maybe you literally have lived many places, many different apartments, or couch surfing or whatever, but this experiencing life as it comes has allowed the contrast to show you something. And now in this place, there's this radical acceptance and a completion of this cycle of lack of direction, and it's becoming clear where you do want to go. Deep quiet meditation and stillness, 11 under that. See that aspect of a person almost, or a being, an entity reaching through energetically to connect with you. I'm seeing that this for many can be your spiritual gifts, mediumship, but also for some others maybe conjuring an opportunity or working with spirit, calling someone into your experience, or connecting with someone on the energetic plane. Even your frenemies and enemies can be connected with, and this is not a suggestion to manipulate, which I do believe rebounds, which isn't reason enough on its own to avoid that. I mean, it's not because we'll be punished or rewarded for doing this. That isn't the concept of Dharma. It's the concept of understanding the unity that creates and connects everything that is. It's honoring the matrix that we see as the illusion of perspective that it is. When somebody says something about us, there's no reason for us to fall back into spiritual narcolepsy, number 19. That corresponds with the Sun card. The Sun card is about illumination, clarity, and radiating self-expression and pure divine ego. So divine matrix, divine ego. Are these feeling a certain way to you? Who made us feel like we had to be subservient rather than humble? When you're humble, you understand the beauty and the contribution that you are, but you also understand the contribution and beauty of the most humble creatures. That's true humility. When you can look at the mosquito and think, yeah, you have a great function. I probably shouldn't kill a whole lot of you, but when you come for me, I can't have you, vampiring from my energy field, right? You need to exist over there. It's the same type of thing, that buzzing of the mosquito in our tent at night when you're wanting to go to sleep and you know that mosquito wants to suck your blood all night. It's unsettling, and it's hard to resolve compassion for the mosquito in that moment, right? And this is just like those people that come buzzing around our energy. Protecting our own energy doesn't have to be harsh. We don't have to go running away from every opportunity. We can advocate for ourselves in the moment and understand that we don't need to annihilate or like murder the mosquito, for instance. Sometimes we can get them out. And did you know, this is just a strange fact that's been going in my mind, I've learned that only the female mosquitoes actually draw blood and suck blood. So that's interesting to me. So, and it's not that women are evil and men are not. Please don't go that route. But within ourselves, the polarities, the masculine that is out and asserting is following something. It's leading or following. It's innovative. It's moving. But the feminine that is magnetizing our experiences, and that point of attraction that literally allows and calls things to pursue us, that's the feminine aspect that can be more like the parasitic vampire energy, where it's our magnetism that truly needs to be expanded here when we have perception, crown chakra, third eye chakra. What's under third eye? Dynamic coherence. And one more, divine feminine. Okay, gotta look under that magic. Okay, so magic, conception, discernment. Discerning how to use your magical capacity to elevate your magnetism. So you can't fool your magnetism. You can act and do, and you can fake it till you make it on the masculine polarity, but until you really feel that sense of sacred space within yourself, honoring yourself, being your own hero, and being willing to embrace both your masculine and your feminine polarities as one, that's when you have that dynamic coherence of all of the abundance, all of your impact, all of your magical capacity ebbing and flowing through every chakra. And each one grows and expands, and those chakra vortice wheels become expanded and then blending unto each other, and creates this iridescent rainbow radiant aspect as we expand all that we are, the good, the bad, the ugly, and work on accepting the self, including the self, the shadow and the light. Yeah, it's understanding something very inherent to our personality in a completely new way, and it's creating a sense of homecoming, the prodigal son coming back to the Divine Mother. I'm feeling that this, with the beloved, radical acceptance, it's connected to that romantic message. There's reconciliations causing, wailing tree, an empty well, and then detox, watchers, transpersonal. You are being guided by spirit, source, universe, your ancient lineage, to shed your hardened exoskeleton of your mask, your ego mask, and letting your divine radiance come through. And this can only happen through repairing your body, mind, spirit essence, by replenishing the empty well. Every empty well is a divine portal. Rejection is a divine redirection unto the self. If you're searching for self in others, if you're searching for validation, you're abandoning yourself, the child abandoned in the well, no water there. But when you are sharing yourself with others, sharing their experiences, accepting things just as they be, and being in your beingness, in that sense of nothing is right, wrong, nothing. There's so much gray area is what I want to get at. And if somebody takes wrong action, it's because of either a faulty understanding, a faulty consciousness, a bad choice that they thought that they could or should make in the moment, an inability to deny impulses in some way. There's some type of issue at play in their consciousness when they take actions that you doubt. And so when you do this in whatever octave and safety zone that you could justify away, you can see why you would deviate and why you would take bad actions or run away from your beloved, when really what you want to do is be in their arms. But maybe you want them to prove that they'll come chasing after you. But then if they chase you, isn't it unsettling? And don't you just need that extra space because you're still not in alignment? You're still not in your center. And you're thinking, why would they come after this empty well? They must not be as valuable as I thought. If they're going to chase me, I'm going to keep running. It's this aspect that both partners in a runner-chaser dynamic have allowed themselves to come off center. And the more that you can allow things to serve you, even your frenemies, that chemistry with frenemies is the contrast necessary for you to redirect back to your empty well, to dive into that rabbit hole portal, into self-care, into self-reliance. If somebody says, oh, that's a stupid idea, why would you ever do that? Then you can say, oh, well, because I value my intuition, I've witnessed the need for this. My heart says that other people need this education and this product or this beingness that I am here. And I have the corrected chemistry now to work that out, work the kinks out at 3333, which we have on the board. Working the kinks out of your own energy so that there's no doubt in following your own amazing destiny. Using your dynamic coherence to dodge doubt that is not part of your best path forward. It's one of those pillars here, other people standing as these pillars, unmovable pillars that have ideas about what you could, would, should do to make them more comfortable, taken for granted. So long distance. So what else can we say before needing to close this out? So elevating consciousness, inner conflict. How beautiful it is for you to remain silent when another anticipates your rage. Perhaps they're doubting you and trying to keep you down because they don't have the guts to do it themselves. And so they poke at you because they're miserable on some type of subconscious repressed level. and they want you to give them evidence that you're not as steady in your path, or that you're just drifting and there's no point or purpose to what you're doing. You can literally create worlds from magnetizing, through conscious interaction, through healing your own inner conflicts, closing cycles with ideas that don't serve you. So at this new moon coming up in a few days, starting now, because this is already the ecliptic portal here, where we are literally shifting into high gear, accelerating our growth and evolution of our own consciousness, things are coming in. So sow the seeds, realign your energy to your divine spark, to your unlimited potential, because something is already seated here. All right, anything else? All right, we'll take those two. Brick house. Somebody here flexing. Momentum, drive, speed, motive. Didn't I just say acceleration? So know that you need to take that break to connect with whatever's coming through for you. There's information channeling through. Take that deep, quiet meditation and stillness in your detox time to align mind, body, spirit. Do your cleanse and detox. Maybe burn some of that sage, and maybe even see an energetic healer. So I don't know if I can keep my hands to myself. Aquarius showing up again today, mature masculine, that likes lots of attention and action, fire, but they don't necessarily feel worthy to pursue their joy. Maybe there's a date coming in, somebody listening to music for ideas, and there's a bit of a professional border here. So you may work or have some type of professional boundary here, but there's a lot of respect and bonding. And then I'm seeing hands off after we had that. Don't know if I can keep my hands to myself. So somebody wants to be more than friends, and maybe there's tension also with that frenemies card, or somebody blocking 3D contracts. I mean, this, for some of you, I don't condone this. Somebody may have been married, and that's influencing whether or not there's an overlap here. Just be really careful with your energy, because those type of situations rarely work out for the highest good. So protect your energies. You are worth way more than that, and there's no rush. Don't rush. Somebody wants to take a romantic adventure, and they're coming to see you, IJKL, over the next 48 hours. They're falling for you hard and trying to impress you. They may also be a Libra, or you may have that in your chart. They think you're really hot and you feel like home. Yep, we've covered that. And there's definitely an elevation of the crown chakra, the trust, belief, and it's faith. Faith that things will work out, instead of having all of your mental anxiety and inner conflicts that rise up and put you into that inner dispute energy, and escalating yourself and thinking too far into the future about what if it does or doesn't work out. And there's some type of an idea of harnessing the dynamism of your thoughts before that train goes spiraling down into the empty well. If it goes there, recognize that that is only to pop you back out, and affirm to yourself, I've already seen contrast in my life. I understand what I do and don't want, and I'm going to keep myself in an observer standpoint. I'm not going to avoid taking a risk. I'm going to reach out when I'm called to, and I'm going to take the time to connect deeply with myself. Reassess your reasons for busyness. Prioritize your goals. Don't just go, go, go. You will block out your perceptions of everything that wants to come through. There's definitely mature feminine on the board as well. Live a life full of love and light, but still master the throat punch. heart chakra, evil eye, return to sender, trust issues, and power couple, synchronicity, luck, divine intervention. I don't want to lose myself again. True north, I feel you're my destiny. So there's a conflict between anxiety, fear, and past experiences and future fears, and the need to pursue something that we're called to. There's so much abundance here waiting for us. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning in and tapping into all these messages. Don't be afraid to be the first one that likes a video here. I know right now this is just the beginning of the channel, but these messages are definitely for someone, many of us. These are collective energies. So don't feel shame or guilt for having some things to still work out, the kinks in your vibration. We all are on this path for a reason, and we're all elevating. We all have something to contribute to the whole. So some of these messages you will have already mastered while another hasn't. So take all of it in stride, you know, what resonates with you, what doesn't resonate with you, and how does this redirect you to work out your own inner excellence, because that is what this path is all about, is elevating your consciousness and reaching out and sharing that beauty, love, light with everyone else, except those they're going to come at you that don't stay their distance, right? Still know how to do that throat punch. Know how and when to say, oh, a holy hell no, when you need to. But also know when that hell yes is on the board. And don't be afraid of that holy hell yes. So, all right, you all, take care. We'll talk again very soon. Bye.